Hey, what's going on, guys? I think a lot of drivers out there, well, a few drivers, they are, let's say, for a better word, they're looking at this whole thing wrong. Or let's say they are confused of the circumstances. They're not looking at all the details. And what I'm talking about is this. We're hearing a lot of drivers saying, get a W-2. Well, the W-2 is laying off. So that idea can be put to trash because a lot of W-2s now, they're doing the gig economy. And that's why the market is flooded. If Tony Shu said from 4 million went up to 7 million, where did they come from? They came from the W-2 sector. So we can scrap that idea. It's just annoying when people say get a W-2. And you'll make about the same or even less with a W-2. Unless it's a college educated university type of W-2, then I can understand that. But an average regular W-2, it's worse right now in the gig economy. And if you're older and have experience, they don't want your ass. They want somebody young who's going to get paid 50%, half the price of what they have to pay for somebody who's experienced. And I've said. But here's the reality. Yes, there's going to be times with the gig economy you have slowdowns. It's not that you dug a hole for yourself or it's your fault for working a gig economy. The problem is where you live. In an area, especially if you want to live in a lavish area, like by the sea, by the water, where the food is expensive, your bills and maintenance and car repairs and rent, they're expensive, and you're living in that type of market. Examples: Texas, Arizona. Well, Arizona doesn't have water, but everything else is sky high. California, Florida. What's going on? What you have to pay every month, you have to have a good day with Doordash or UBEREATS or Instacart or Spark or you name it, every single day. Because you have 1 or 2 or 3 days that are bad out of the week, you're done. You're just done. But if you're in, like, say, the Midwest or Middle America, where right now they'll have 2 bedrooms for $800 rent, where you can have a friend or relative, each person pays $400. There's your rent, $400 a month. And you got a house, a 2-bedroom with 2 bathrooms. Each person pays $400, so on your end, on your side, you're paying $400. And maybe $500 with the utilities and all. Each person pays $100, so $500. There you go. Those are your expenses for home. So, in that area, Mr. Roy, because Roy likes to talk big, always for the companies and always against the gig drivers. So, Mr. Roy, when your expenses a month for housing is $500, and you live in that area, and you have 3 bad days with Doordash, UBEREATS, Instacart, whatever, you're going to get by. You're going to get by. But if you're in an area where you're going to pay $2,000 a month, you're not. Those are the areas that you need to make the same every day. And those are the areas where you cannot make the same every day because those are the oversaturated areas. That's why they raised the rent. That's why they raised everything. It's not just the gig economy with the shenanigans. It's the location where you are. The location where you are is very expensive, and with the gig economy, everywhere you go, they're going to have 2-3 days bad in a week. I don't care where you go in what state, but in certain locations, it's fine. You can get by. In other states, you're done. That's the situation. Not that you're in the gig economy and you did that yourself and you're to blame and all that crap. It's we're living at locations, and in certain locations where we live, they're pretty much, they paint them as lavish, but they're not, like my location. They think the Beverly Hills around here. And if you live in those locations and you're paying up the wazoo, and those are the locations that are oversaturated, you're going to have a hard time right now. Right now. And you know those states I'm talking about. Washington State, like Seattle, that's another one. Expensive as hell up there too. California, Arizona, Florida. Texas was not 2 years ago. Go look at Texas now. Last year in Tennessee, you could get a $700-800 home. Not in the metro area, the surrounding areas of the metro area, outside of the metro. Because I was paying attention, I was watching that. 700, 800, 900. That was last year. This year, those same locations, they went up to $1,500, $1,700, $1,800. Like that, not even a year. So when you're having a hard time 2-3 days a week, it's gonna hurt you. If you live in expensive locations. Maybe they weren't expensive 2-3 years ago, now they are. But if you live some places like the Dakotas or Montana or Indiana, or Ohio, or Kansas. Did I say Indiana? Indiana, with the exception of Indianapolis. It's just a little bit expensive there. Illinois can be expensive. Obviously Chicago, forget about it. And Michigan and Minnesota, they are changing over there as well. But there's other states where the cost of living is down. And yes, even in those locations, you can have 2 and 3 bad days. But you can make it. You can pay your bills. Because you can get a double burger with French fries and a soda for $7.79. I was pulling my hair. I'm like, no way. They got a whole thing of sandwiches with French fries for $8. Take your pick what sandwich you want, and it comes with French fries. $8. Good luck trying to get that here where I am. I don't know how much it is in your neck of the woods. Over here, forget about it. You're looking at $12, $13 or $14. So the issue is not you dug yourself a hole and the gig economy is a dead end and all that. The locations have become the dead end. The area that you live is the dead end. They keep raising and raising and raising and raising and raising. Obviously, to no end, to no freaking end, obviously, the gig economy cannot catch up with that. They're going to have to pay you $10 base pay. So we can't blame the gig economy on everything. We blame them somewhat. The locations are to blame as well. Dude, they have turned a blind eye. Everybody's price gouging the shit out of everything. Enough said. So I hope you guys get the idea. It's the areas that you live in, there's an issue with that as well. And in some locations, if you do the math, you'll see that they might even, in order for you to survive on a normal standard, on these high-end areas, the base pay has to be $10. Is Doordash, UBEREATS, and all going to give you a $10 base pay? No. They're not. So, and oversaturation, and everybody sitting around 45 minutes to an hour to get an offer, you're done. And we're blaming the gig economy. No, I'm sorry. The area that you're in, that's the blame. No control. There's no control on rent, no control on the industries out there, the services, no control whatsoever. They're throwing out prices like they're hotcakes. $200 an hour here, $300 an hour there for services. I'm like, dude, I gotta work, if I can find them, I gotta work 200 hours a week with Doordash and UBEREATS to pay for this shit. What do you want the gig economy to do? It's time to move. Everybody moved in those locations. You know why? The whole all the southern states was a big influx of people. A lot of people moved into the south. From Florida all the way to Arizona. A lot of Californians, half of California is in Arizona. As a metaphor, as a figure of speech. A lot of people from California and Arizona. Skyrocket everything. A lot of people moved to Texas. Skyrocket everything. Florida. Like 7 million extra people moved into Florida. Skyrocket everything. And the more people are coming in, the more people are going to be doing gig economy or W-2s. Oversaturation. Those are the locations. The problem is the locations. Your neck of the woods is the issue. Period. So it's time to move out of those locations. If you're doing the gig economy, it's not going to work. They cannot keep up. They cannot keep up. The gig economy cannot keep up with the bizarre and crazy increase of the cost of living. They just can't. So, if that's your main source and you're seeing it's not working and you need to do something else, that's fine. But if you want to stick with that, you're going to have to move. Because where you live, you're paying $2,000 a month for rent. You can move in a location where you pay $700, $800 a month for rent. For the same thing. And even when you have 2-3 bad days, your rent is cheap, your food is cheap, your expenses are cheap. You have 2-3 days bad in a week, you're still doing okay. There's the answer for everybody to know. I think pretty much that hits the nail on the wall. But you guys let me know, and I'll catch you guys later.